Good morning, Jemima and Shannon. Here is the machine, the Breville Barista Express BES870. I'm quickly going to do my morning coffee on it just to demonstrate the machine working. So usually it takes a minute to turn on and reach temperature, but you can let it heat up some more by either letting it sit for a while or running a blank shot through it. So a blank shot is just a bit of hot water through the handle into the cup. This will warm things up nicely. You can do that once or twice. It doesn't hurt to do it twice, it's just more heat. When that's done, grab a tissue, dry your portafilter, and now we're ready to grind the coffee. So I'm going to use a scale to measure the amount that goes in. You don't really need a scale, but it really helps, in my opinion. So it's not essential, but it helps, with consistency and getting a better coffee. So that's all good. I'm gonna put it on grind size number 5. I think number 5 for this bean that I'm using is good enough. Single quantity. This is a double basket, so your machine comes with all 4. This is the double size single wall. So this is the single wall one, 2 shot. So I'm gonna put on grind size number 5. I'm gonna do the single grind twice because it's less messy, and I'm gonna put this on 1 o'clock. Great. Let's see what we got. We got 10 grams, so I'm going to dial it back to 11 o'clock. So let's see what we get at 11 o'clock. Okay, now it's 9 grams after I removed a little bit. So after your first grind, also press it and then great. So at 11 o'clock we got about 8.5. So somewhere between 11 and 12 o'clock. It is a clicked mechanism, so maybe keep it at 11 and see how you go. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you get a good coffee, so you don't have to follow the numbers religiously. So before you tamp it, just flatten it out. If it fills the top of the portafilter, then that's approximately 17 to 18 grams. So this basket takes 18 grams max, so I think we're close enough. Make sure to clean the edges. And when you tamp, you'll notice, obviously you'll notice the tamper go deeper into the coffee. And if you have the correct amount of coffee, the damper silver part will disappear. So this is sort of a rough guide to the correct quantity. Make sure it's nice and flat, nice and smooth. Lock it in. You don't have to go all the way to the right. I'm going to keep it here in the middle. Add your sugar, syrup, whichever you like. You know what? I might put this in this other cup since I'm going out. Oh, you also have a hot water tap, by the way. So hot water tap to warm up cups or to make a long black coffee. So give you hot water straight from the boiler, bypassing the group head and bypassing any coffee grounds or dirt that could be in the group head. Okay, so now we're ready to make the coffee. So I'm going to reset my scale again. I'm going to measure the output. The output should be about double of what we put in terms of grams. Put in 18, we want to get 36 or 35 grams out. So you can program the buttons to give you that much. So to program a button, you press program. Hopefully this whole thing should take about 20 seconds. If it's really quick. Now it's at 11 o'clock position, which is about 9 bars. And let's stop it there. Perfect. So we got about 50 grams. That's a bit too much coffee for a double shot. Usually I aim for 40, not 50 grams. So 35 to 40. So this is a bit too much coffee, I would say. We got that in about 20 seconds. It was a symmetrical flow. We got a good amount of crema. But yeah, I think it might be a bit too diluted now that it's 50 grams instead of 40 or 35. But it still tastes good. We'll still have this coffee. Yeah. Remove the portafilter. Knock it off. I do have a knock box to sell, like a Breville knock box to sell that I have spare. But if you don't want that, that's fine. And then rinse. So rinse by pressing the double button again. So my coffee was a bit too quick. Reason being is probably the grind size being a bit too large. So it's at number 5. I would try number 4 next time and make a coffee on number 4. That will slow things down and bring the coffee speed a bit slower. It'll increase the pressure. So I usually aim on this machine for about 11 to 1 o'clock pressure, sort of 12 o'clock being perfect. If it's much less than 11 o'clock, or if it's much less than 11 o'clock, it would probably be too quick of a coffee. It will probably have a sour-ish flavor. And on the other hand, if the pressure is way too high, so over 1 o'clock of pressure, then that probably means my grind size is too fine. And if that happens, the coffee will be bitter, it'll be small and concentrated. Yeah, so that's this espresso aspect. Now to make this a latte, obviously, add milk. I'm going to start the steamer, grab a bit of milk. So I'm just pouring my milk. Ideally you want to have the milk ready when you start the steamer, but just for the sake of the video I'm sort of rushed. So when you turn it on, it'll take about 10-15 seconds to start actually seeing steam coming out. So when that happens, turn it off. Position your jug sort of at an angle, turn it back on. Keep the tip of the wand close to the surface and keep spinning the milk. So I'm going to hold this position for maybe 20 seconds. You want to hear that hissing sort of paper tearing sound. Like tearing a piece of paper. That sound right there. You want to hear it for about 20 seconds. And then after that, I'm going to raise the jug. So raise the jug to stop that hissing sound and stop aerating the milk. We don't want the milk to be too bubbly, otherwise it'll be a very sort of fluffy coffee. We don't want that. But yeah, it's different coffees have different sort of duration of aeration. So it's up to you, I guess. I'm doing a latte today, so it's probably not too much aeration. And I'm going to keep it going, keep it spinning in a circle. I'm going to stop when it's too hot to the touch. or if you have the thermometer 60 degrees Celsius. Give the wand a purge, this is very important. Give it a purge. And then now let it cool down. It'll cool down back to espresso mode. Give it a good wipe. And now the machine is ready to make another coffee. I will show you the end result. So grab your milk jug, knock it on the counter to break any air bubbles, swirl it around to mix it up. And with some practice you can do latte art. I don't always get a good pattern, but I try. We'll give this a go. No pattern for me today, but it looks really good, and that's all that matters, I guess. Yeah, here's my final coffee. And thanks for watching. I'm sure you can do much better coffees, and enjoy the machine. Take care.